penetrating bullet.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
More powerful than a locomotive.
Hulk! Smash!
Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
There's more to them than meets the eye.
It's Superman!
Listen to the sound of footsteps in the dark, to voices that may not be quite human, to the sound of screams in the night, to the haunted cabaret, the home of all things horror, on Rhode-IslandFreeRadio.org, with your host, George Garner. The Haunted Cabaret starts now. Listen to the sound of footsteps in the dark, to voices that may not be quite human, to the sound of screams in the night, to the haunted cabaret, the home of all things horror, on Rhode-IslandFreeRadio.org, with your host, George Garner. The Haunted Cabaret starts now.
Hey there, boys and ghouls. You are not listening to the Haunted Cabaret, but never fear, that is coming up next. That was a little boo-boo on the side of live radio. It happens, even to the professionals. And this is Chuckles Crypt. I am Chuckles the Clown. And yes, George Garner is a part of the show. I promise.
But now, does that mean that I have to play the Chuckles Crypt intro before my show twice? Like, what does this mean?
I think it's only fair. Why not? But you know, I did promise a night of heavy metal Christmas music, and we started off with that. And a lot of people are sitting back saying, oh, I love that Trans-Siberian Orchestra song. And I would say you are wrong. That was not Trans-Siberian Orchestra. That was one of my favorite metal bands before they sold out. That was Metallica, Carol of the Bells. And most people just fell out of their chair and went, what? Metallica does Christmas music? You're going to get a lot of that tonight with some of these bands I'm letting you listen to. This isn't going to be your typical B101, the same stupid Christmas song that you hear time and time again. I mean, how many times can you hear that same song that's been around since the 1950s before you say, that sucks? I'm giving you a little extra spin on that. We're going to go over a little, some activities that I was able to partake in, along with my friends from My Night Out Radio, that is Psycho Eddie, and, of course, George from Providence Night Out, not to be confused with George Garner, but still, a George, nevertheless. Christmas comes around, and I say, bah, flippin' humbug. Really, I do. And I say that from my heart because I tried getting in the spirit when they let me out last weekend.
Yeah, but the spirit you tried getting into was diabolic.
Yeah. Well,
it's kind of...
You know, you try. You really do. And then you get into these commercialized stores, and you figure out that the holiday really is nothing but a giant commercial. And, hell, I like commercials in the Super Bowl, so why not? I'll like the commercialism it. But don't be coming up to me preaching about your religious facts and whatnot, because this holiday has absolutely, positively nothing to do with anything religious. This is all commercial idea. If you think about the religious idealism about the American dollar, then yes, you're right. That's what it's about.
Okay, but I have to point out right here, though, that this show, as we speak, started out with a lot more dignity than the typical Chuckles and Laughs production.
You're
I
right.
mean, whether it's Chuckles Crypt, whether it's your other shows or your other... I mean, Carol of the Bells, that was pretty damn dignified.
That was awesome. I did enjoy that. We're going to talk about...
So you've dignified Christmas.
Well, I'm not saying that I don't enjoy certain aspects of it. I do. I'd be lying if I didn't. I enjoyed when my third time coming back around and getting those special toys that we talk about here, mostly comic related. And I'll ask you at the end of the night, what was one of your favorite toys you got? We're gonna talk a little more about the metal and a little more about horror and Christmas and how much it really has taken over this holiday. And someone in this room, I remember, asked me, said, why do you like these Christmas horror stories? Why don't you like those cutesy ones out there?
I don't think it was anybody in this room.
Oh, it was. Not you, not them, but it was. And I answered blatantly to that person that the reason why I like Christmas horror movies is it takes a giant steaming crap on whatever your beliefs are and makes it more enjoyable for evil folks like us. And we'll get to one that I really think needs to be talked about at the hour, the remake to Silent Night, Deadly Night, which, if you haven't seen the original, please do. It is good. Don't watch any of the sequels afterwards.
No, absolutely not.
No,
don't. You're 100% right.
The original is the best.
Yep.
The remake, oh my flippin' devil, was that awesome. And I mean bloody, gory, awesome. Like, I will watch that again. But before we do that, speaking about metal here on Chuckles Crypt, I know you like the metal as well.
Yes,
so you're going to be banging your head to this all night. We're going to go down to Guns N' Roses, and this is White Christmas here on Rhode Island Free Radio.
Wow! White Christmas!
No, cocaine is white.
Yeah, but after it comes out of your nose, it's red. After it eats away your interior there. And especially the fist fights between Axl and Slash over dinner. There's definitely a lot of red Christmases between those two. One of those reunions, and I hate to say it, that you probably will never, ever, ever hear. And we say that, and then suddenly we get stuff like Van Halen reunion, where those guys absolutely hate each other to the point where one gentleman's got a separate dressing room from the other. But they love, just like everybody out here, they love the almighty dollar. So
and you realize, too, that a lot of it is public, what would you say, public persona? In other words, like I think it was Ace Frehley that said before the Kiss reunion that whenever they stop talking about it, that's when it's going to happen. In other words, no matter what the band is. Whenever they say how much they hate each other, they're building up to it. When they stop talking about it, that's when they're organizing it. So, but you're right. As far as Slash, and yeah, there is. I went to see Slash, and there is he doesn't even mention Axl Rose, and there's malice and vindictiveness on the stage without the Guns N' Roses being mentioned. It's just it permeates the atmosphere.
It definitely does, and I haven't had the chance to see Guns N' Roses live, and those that have, like, you had a treat in front of you. Especially, I guess, a couple years ago, they played up at Worcester. Without Slash, and Axl still did a bang-up job. They played past the ordinance level because I guess he didn't come on stage until an hour later. So he paid the fine, and he actually played for the fans and everything. So Slash, I've had the pleasure of seeing a couple times. He is outstanding at what he does. And if you have not got the chance to see Slash, do. He really is a good guitar player. I can't figure if I'm going to compare him to the Jimi Hendrix of my decade because there's still so many other guitar players out there.
I would say not, because I think Slash is a great guitar player, a great rock guitar player. There's a difference between a great virtuoso guitar player and a great rock guitar player sometimes. In other words, he's incredibly entertaining to listen to, but that doesn't make him the most skillful, if you see the difference.
You know who really is, and I know you don't like Aerosmith, but Joe Perry is absolutely he's out of this world. He can do anything from rock to country to blues and jump back on there, and he still sounds awesome at what he's doing.
No, I like Aerosmith up until, let's see, I would have to go back into history, but I like Aerosmith up to Done with Mirrors.
Yeah, Done with Mirrors was good. That was that a Pink album.